with a partnership with DICT. Once DICT, as we heard from Ms. Nepomuceno, starts cascading and having nationwide internet access, we hope to see that soon. And we want our micro, small, and medium enterprises in our rural areas and in the countryside to start shifting and going online. And that is really when we will see nationwide boost, not only in business, but also in employment generation, because here we have the micro, small, and medium enterprises. Their businesses open up to the Philippines and, of course, globally. Mr. Serrano, the Science for Change program, we've heard about the Science for Change program in where you help R&D and also commercialization of product. How can we encourage the businesses in the southern Luzon area to take advantage of this government program, which is very critical now as they pivot, as you said, towards the new normal and digitalization?
Yes, sir. We have these several programs in the science S4C, Science for the People, Science for Change program, wherein we try to encourage our industry partners to take advantage of the technology, for example, available in the academe. We also want to enable them. There's also the aspect of enabling their proposed technology. If there are some aspect of their business model that needs to be enhanced, we can also help them encourage that. And of course, again, we also promote the technology available. We're hoping that our industry partners would try to adapt the available technology developed by the different agencies or attached agencies of the DOST. These are actually specifically targeted for advanced manufacturing. That's the idea for them, again, to level up even in the industry level, not just the MSMEs. So that's the idea. We want to encourage our industry partners, businesses, to take advantage of the available technology, whether it can be directly or they are already using it, or it's something that they can explore as well. Maybe they can consider partnering with DOST.
Thank you, Mr. Serrano. I know the southern Luzon area with a vast range of different industries and the available government funding and support. Example is the Science for Change and the iStart. Hopefully, we can come up after this SOLABC in a program really to target and encourage our MSMCs, because we heard a couple of successful stories earlier, which is really
if I may add, sir,
Sure.
As I mentioned, part of the S4C program, for example, in the Pili industry here in the Bicol region, we have the Pili Nicer program. The idea is we were able to explore the different aspects of Pili, stretch the technology in the sense that there are new products that should be developed, not just the conventional products that we get out of Pili. We will want to elevate the industry into a level that we will be able to deliver new products. Like, for example, we have the LME products, the oil extracted from Pili. We've gone through the process of identifying different varieties endemic into specific areas of the region. Another one that we want to target is pineapple. The idea, again, is to enhance and to level up and to discover other products through science and technology, to develop new industries. That is the ultimate objective, to level up and to develop and to innovate, continue to innovate.
I mean, that is great, Mr. Serrano. I'll get back to the Pili one and the pineapple. I have a follow-up question on that. For Huawei, we heard from Ms. Sylvia Wang about AI, and it seems so far out of reach. But we have our guest from Huawei. I know Mr. Alistair here. Alistair, how can we bring AI to the common businesses? There is a perception that AI and all this cloud are for multinationals, large companies, but in the Philippines, over 95% of the businesses are micro, small, and medium enterprises. And these are the ones that we would like to assist in moving into their digitalization journey or digital journey. And AI, as we all know, that it could be the wave of the future and it is going to be part of our future. How can we bring that, Alistair, to the micro, small, and medium enterprises? Thank you. I think you're on mute.
Oh, hi, Barry.
Can we unmute? Yes.
I think I need to.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, go ahead, Alice.
So thank you very much for that question, Sir Perry. No? So allow me to answer first. I have my colleagues here, Shyam and Angelo. But to your question, we are representing here Huawei Cloud. And one advantage or benefit of the the SMEs to leverage the cloud services and cloud technologies is once, as discussed earlier, DICT has been rolling out free Wi-Fi in the countryside, and DOST has been promoting modernization of or industrialization of our industries in the countryside for the SMEs. So with that in mind, now it's mature and ripe for the SMEs to take advantage and leverage the cloud technologies. So not just hosting or modernizing or taking advantage of digitalizing or doing applications, hosting services in the cloud. They can also take advantage of AI because the AI that tools and services that are already available in the cloud, it's really they can subscribe, they can consume it, and it's already prepared for by our experts and our AI experts in Huawei for the SMEs to just consume and integrate in their businesses. Let's say, for example, we have an AI machine learning tool such as OCR, optical character recognition. So they can use this to automate their processes, maybe handling sales invoices or orders instead of the paper-based process. They can integrate those AI tools in their businesses. So in a way, they can automate and they can have less manpower, less errors, human errors, and more efficient and effective processes. So these are some of the examples they can take advantage, leverage using AI services in the cloud. And there are a lot more services that the SMEs. So the entry, the SMEs, because this is cloud-based, they don't need really an expertise or need to be knowledgeable very much because it's easy to use. We design and develop it so that the consumers or our SMEs can readily integrate it in their existing processes and systems. So I think if Sham, you have something to add, or Angelo?
It's no add from my side. It's you already answered very good.
All right, thank you.
Maybe we can take two examples for the AI application in our daily life and daily productions. For example, I take an example in China, and in China there are some unmanned supermarket now, and in this supermarket we can find some AI intelligent application. In this supermarket, in this kind of supermarket, we can find AI intelligent fruit scale, and which can automatically identify all the goods, including the weight, the product's calories, and the price. So after you pick out the goods, you just put on the scale, and it can identify the price, the final price, and show the QR code for payment online. So for the consumers, they can finish the payment and the goods purchasing by themselves. So for this kind of AI application, we don't need any sales or front desk. So I just give this AI application example. It can develop it from our public cloud, and we also have AI hardware. It's called Atlas hardware. So it can be developed by two ways. I just have this example.
Thank you, Angelo and Alistair, for giving us an example. I know for the audience, there is a Huawei free cloud AI and also HMS training that's being offered to PCCI members. So I'd like to congratulate, I don't know if we still have Carmelita Reyes and Annie on board with us, but I have a question for each one of them. I am not sure if they are there, because I'd like to congratulate them on their success. I'm not sure if they are still here, but if not, let's just give them 10 seconds if they are still here. Because I wanted to ask Ms. Reyes and Ms. Annie, you know, you're very successful in your businesses that is in your area, but with digitalization and technology, I believe you can bring it online. And you know, the Bicol products and the Southern Luzon products are in demand in other regions of the Philippines. So why possibly limit only in that area, but through digitalization, through online e-commerce, and also through the help of DICT and all this Wi-Fi nationwide, can we, or would you, as the next step, bring your products and goods nationwide or even globally? Thank you. If you are there, oh yes, Miss Annie, I see you. Okay, go ahead.
I'm Carmelita Reyes.
Hi, Carmelita. Yes. Go ahead.
Good morning po sa lahat.
Good morning.
On the way na po kami na tinuturuan ng DOST na maging digitalize ang operation ng products namin. Kasi alam nyo naman sa probinsya, sanay kami ng face-to-face. At sa ngayon po ay tinutulungan kami kung paano maging digitalize ang aming product. At nasa Shopee na po kami ngayon. At sana po yung Huawei ay makatulong kasi lahat ng produkto ng Marinduque ay hindi pa kami nakakatawid. Alam niyo naman po ngayon ay pandemic, ay hirap na hirap po ang mga negosyante dito. Ang dami pong beneficiary ang DOST, nasa 75 na po kami dito na natulungan na umasenso. Talaga pong kami from manual, kamay-kamay lang ang trabaho namin. Ngayon lahat kami ay mechanized. Kaya ang laki pong tulong ng DOST na hindi ko po ito malilimutan dahil marami pong umasenso na mga SMEs na ngayon milyonarya na dati noon ay Baka
Ay,
konti-konti na lang. Ay, totoo po. Ang dami po. Lahat ng produkto na tinulungan ng DOST ay asensado. Buong Pilipinas po yan. Kasi ako po ay ako po ay naging awardee din ng national ng most innovative and most technology adapter ng technology ng DOST. At hanggang ngayon po, ay tinutulungan ako ng DOST kung paano pa makatulong. Kasi ang product ko po is more on sa farmers na nagpapatanim ako ng mga raw materials sa farmers, ng raw materials ng arrowroot cookies. Then yung pong technology na binigay ng DOST ng mga machineries ay nagagamit ko po. Kaya ito po ang naggabay sa amin, mga SMEs ng Marinduque, kung paano umunlad ang negosyo.
Miss Carmelita, Miss Reyes, it is really a touching story, and we have heard it in several regions on how DOST is a catalyst. Siya ang tumutulong from manual, kagaya na sabi nyo, naging mechanized, and hopefully, our next step, Miss Reyes, is dadalhin natin kayo into the digital. Meron programa dito sa PCCI, and together with our very active AVP, we will bring out digital support programs to bring itong mga pagkain and mga dishes and mga services ng Southern Luzon into the online platform and into the digital economy. Magantay lang, let's just wait a little bit. Ilalabas namin, and for the 75 na natulungan ng DOST, hindi yung katakataka because they have been helping in many regions.
Talaga pong totoo.
We will continue to help the micro, small, and medium enterprises in all the other regions in the Philippines. And our next step is really bringing these micro and small enterprises into the digital economy through the assistance of the programs of PCCI. Magantay lang po tayo, and it will be coming out. Now, we're down to our last few minutes, and we would like to hear just some final words from our panelists, especially talking about digitalization, innovation, technology, and infrastructure. We would like to start from DICT, from Ms. Pinky. You have some last final words for this session.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity again. So as one of the questions forwarded to us in advance is how the private sector and the ICT can have a synergistic partnership. So aside from the shared passive telecommunication tower infrastructure, we would also like to call on the private sector to be more actively involved with regards to the digital cities and its maintenance. Right now here in Bicol, we have Iriga City and Legazpi City chosen as one of the 25 digital cities in the Philippines. So the goal of this is to attract the BPM locators to the digital cities. So one of the roles that the private sector can do is to be a member, active member of the ICT Council, and to practice as to the maintenance of the digital cities. We encourage you already to use more the digital technologies like e-payments, the e-platforms that we have, especially the local ones like the Community Mart, Mura Mart, Hungry, to patronize our own, kasi those that we have that are locally grown can create more jobs, as well as ensure that the income they earn are also spent in the locality or the community where they operate. And then when it comes naman to the digital jobs technical training that we offer for free, We encourage also the MSMEs to partner with our scholars as their first-time clients. And such when in one of our courses, we offer the digital marketing and e-commerce course. The MSME will benefit because they can have their own website created by our scholars, as well as in how to do digital marketing. And also, we encourage the private sector to use and adapt the e-business permit and licensing system already implemented by most of our LGUs. The deadline given by the Anti-Red Tape Authority was last June 17. So we have already encouraged all LGUs to adopt the zero contact policy. So if you will patronize this LGUs that are already offering the automated business permit and license system, we will ensure that more LGUs will follow. And also, you can report to the Anti-Red Tape Authority also those LGUs that are compliant with the zero contact policy.
Thank you, Ms. Pinky.
Sir.
Thank you. And a short message from RD Serrano.
Thank you, Sir Franz. Good afternoon again. Good morning again. So for my last message po siguro, I would like to congratulate, of course, the SOLABC, Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry for allowing us to be part of the South Luzon Area Business Conference. It gives us a lot of pleasure, of course, and honor to share with you the ongoing programs of the Department of Science and Technology, especially in the regional operations. I would like to also take this opportunity to encourage our business partners, because this is a silver lining of our condition right now, is that we have still a lot of opportunities, especially that we've recently enacted the Startup Act, kapartner po namin dito sila ma'am sa DICT, kabilang din po ang Department of Trade and Industry. So DICT, the DTI, Department of Science and Technology is also very excited to implement the programs that we have in the Startup Act. And this is again an opportunity for our small and medium enterprises, especially in the digital technology industry, to capitalize on having this additional access to maybe funding or even technical expertise or innovation to help boost the capacity of our digital technology industry. So rest assured that also the DOST is again very much interested to help that industry. In fact, we also want to capitalize on transforming our cities into smart cities, giving them systems capability, capitalizing on financial technology. We're also going towards that direction because we understand that under this fourth industrial revolution, the participation of our partners in the technology industry is very much critical, not just relevant, but the survival of our business. Katulad po ng ating kaibigan dito sa si Ma'am, sa Marinduque or sa Region 4B. At ang libo-libo po itong katulad ng negosyante ay we really needs the assistance of these kinds of technology for them, not just to survive, but to compete globally. Sabi nga ni Ma'am kanina, nag-expand na sila ng market. Nasa digital, nasa online market na rin sila. But this is our also dream for a lot of for most, or if not all, of our MSMEs na tinutulungan. So thank you for this opportunity, and makakaasa po kayo that we will be partnering with everyone to really help our target beneficiaries. Maraming pong salamat.
Thank you, RD Serrano. Thank you for those supportive words. And can we have one representative from Huawei on a short closing?
Okay. Actually, I just want to share something, we got from China. In China right now, the AI, the penetration is already 40%. But actually, the last 3 years, the AI penetration is very low. Actually, it's going very fast. The top 4, the scenario is the first one, information security related. The second one is the computer vision. The number 3 is the robot related, and number 4 is the language process. So the media and the enterprise going to the AI digital transformation, you have to confirm what is your direction and the use case when you want to do the AI or the digitalized. And the know-how is very important. So the AI plus know-how from your side will work together to complete the digitalized vision. So through the PCCI, the platform, we hope that we can hear more the ideas from the Philippine, the SMEs. You can deliver your idea to the PCCI, and Huawei will continually to support the PCCI to provide the program with the free vouchers to make sure that we can achieve the AI use case in Philippines in the near future.
Thank you, Mr. Shenyang, and thank you to Huawei for the contingent partnership with PCCI. And our last comment is from one of the success stories, really here, very inspiring message, inspiring story. Can we hear from Ms. Reyes? A short message.
Sa mga gaya po naming mga SMEs, ina-encourage ko, lalo na ang mga PCCI members na mag-participate sa DOST. Napakalaki pong tulong sa mga SMEs. At ito po yung aking project dito sa Marinduque na i-uplift ang kabuhayan ng mga SMEs. At ako po ang nagko-connect sa mga small SMEs para tulungan sila, yung mga qualified SMEs. Napaka-accommodating po at hindi ka po iiwanan nila hanggang hindi mo na-attain ang iyong goal, kung ano yung goal mo sa buhay. Kaya ito pong tulong nila ay hindi malilimutan. Ang RD po namin dito si Mrs. Abilay at dito namang ang provincial director namin si Mr. Karingal na napakasisipag po talaga. Hindi po naman sa sa DOST pero sa napakasipag po nila. At sana malaking maitulong din sa mga gaya kong PCCI member na makatulong. At ako po natutuwa sa news ni Ma'am na tutulungan kami sa digitalization dahil yan po ang problema namin dito sa Marinduque. Kami po ay mga inosente regarding sa digitalization, pero kami po tinuturuan ng paisa-isa, yung step by step na kung paano umasenso. Salamat po sa inyong lahat na mga, lalo na sa ating SOLABC at nabigyan ako ng pagkakataon na mai-voice out itong mga tulong na binibigay ng ating pamahalaan.
Thank you, Ms. Reyes. And in closing, we'd like to congratulate SOLABC. We'd like to congratulate Ms. Clarine for giving us the opportunity to talk about innovation technology, because this is the way of the future. And we are here at PCCI. We will always support and watch out for the new programs that we will be rolling out to help our micro, small, and medium enterprises. This is Perry Ferrer. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Sorry for the overtime. Thank you.
Thank you very much to our session chair and resource speakers. At this point, we will have a quick photo opportunity with our speakers and session chair. May we request everyone to please stay on camera while photos are being taken. Smile everyone for at least 5 seconds, please. Thank you very much. Introduction of Speaker by Ms. Murgy N. Moraleda.
Today, our speaker is a highly educated man and a scholar. Having graduated cum laude from Central Bicol State University of Agriculture, armed with a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture, with a major in Agricultural Economics in 1995, and a Master's degree in Resource Management in 1999. He received his second Master's at the University of Asia and the Pacific in Applied Business economics with a major in food system management, where he has authored numerous multi-awarded papers on the subject of agricultural economics. As a professional, he has committed nearly his entire career to the Department of Agriculture, having begun as a researcher and economist before rising to Agricultural Center Chief and Regional Technical Director for Operations, and ultimately becoming the Regional Executive Director of the Department of Agriculture, Region 5. Today, he is here to deliver a special presentation of a project in partnership with the Camarines Sur Chamber of Commerce and Industry Incorporated and Digital Marketplace and Logistic app Moramart called the eKadiwa Digital Marketing Program. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Regional Executive Director for Department of Agriculture, Region 5, Mr. Rodel P. Tornilla, MABE.
Survive, reboot, grow. With these principles as guideposts, the Department of Agriculture advances to the new normal of building a food secure and resilient Philippines with prosperous farmers and fisherfolk. The still raging COVID-19 pandemic may have highlighted the vulnerabilities of the country's agricultural system, but it also paved the way for new innovations and opportunities to elevate, innovate, and upscale the agency's existing programs, projects, and services. Immediately after the enhanced community quarantine was imposed, the DA implemented the 31 billion pesos worth Aon Lahat Pagkaing Sapat or ALPAS laban sa COVID-19 or the Plant program. One of the projects funded under this program is the upscaling of the Kadiwa ni Ani at Kita Direct Marketing Program through the Agribusiness and Marketing Assistance Division. This program, launched in 2019, is designed to enable farmers to directly reach consumers without passing through a multi-layer marketing system. Currently, Kadiwa is being implemented in 3 platforms, namely the Kadiwa on Wheels, Kadiwa Retail, and Kadiwa Online. Meanwhile, the Kadiwa Express serves as the logistics and transport system of the program through efficient movement of agri-fishery and food products. By opening Kadiwa outlets in the region, Bicolano farmers were able to get the best prices for the goods.
The Kadiwa ni Ani at Kita program has been an effective and efficient channel in attaining the Department of Agriculture's twin objectives of masaganang ani at mataas na kita in Bicol, despite the adverse economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. From January 2 to May 31, 2021, the DA Bicol through the Agribusiness and Marketing Assistance Division has assisted a total of 32 farmers and fisherfolk cooperatives and associations engaged in Kadiwa Retail Outlet, Kadiwa on Wheels, and Kadiwa Online. These FCAs were able to generate a total gross sales worth 37.62 million pesos and served a total of 82,870 households in the region and in Metro Manila.
To further capacitate the farmers and fisherfolk in taking their roles in the food supply chain, the DA launched its enhanced Kadiwa Financial Grant Program. This program is designed to provide farmers and fisherfolk cooperatives and associations with additional capital for them to purchase the necessary equipment and supplies for them to directly sell their produce to the consumers.
16 FCAs and community-based organizations receive financial grants worth 11.75 million pesos through the Enhanced Kadiwa ni Ani at Kita Financial Grant Program as of May 31, 2021.
However, just like any modern applications and softwares, the Enhanced Kadiwa multi-platform system also has its limitations.
Among the challenges we encountered in running the Enhanced Kadiwa ni Ani at Kita Financial Grant Program were competition with national and international players, app maintenance and upgrades, as well as digital marketing challenges and issues among our FCA and CBO beneficiaries.
To upscale the DA's e-Kadiwa program, the DA Regional Field Office in Bicol partnered with the Camarines Sur Chamber of Commerce Muramart Initiative.
Muramart Holdings Incorporated is a software development company, and we developed the Muramart apps in partnership with the Camarines Sur Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the Department of Agriculture Region 5. The Muramart apps has 3 segments. First is the consumer app. This is where end users or household can order from the Muramart marketplace. Second is what we call the producer app. This is where manufacturers, farmers, and producers are connected to the dealers, institutional buyers, and consolidators. Third is the rider app. This is the logistics portion of the business that caters to the safe and timely delivery of the goods. We believe that the supply ability of the farmers is there, and the demand is also there. It's just that due to the COVID pandemic, the connection gap between the supply and the demand has further widened. Access to public transportation has been hindered, public markets have also been decentralized, and movement itself was restricted. Collaborative effort of the Department of Agriculture Region 5, the Camarines Sur Chamber of Commerce and Industries, and Muramart, we will bridge this connection gap. We are now onboarding DA-accredited cooperatives and farmers with the consumer app as vendors, where the general public will be able to order fresh produce and other products directly from these vendors in the Muramart app. As time progresses, we will be able to analyze our sales data. We will be able to track the volume, the timing, and the prices of the vegetables and other commodities. With this, we can become more self-sufficient as a region. This is one of the best evidence-based information that we can act upon. We will be able to pinpoint production opportunities for our farmers. Next, we will be onboarding the farmers themselves to the producer app. This is where they can list their produce in advance in anticipation of the expected harvest window. One of the major challenges with fresh produce is that after you harvested it, the clock starts ticking. We will be marketing the produce in advance through the app, finding the demand for it. The goal is to reduce post-harvest losses and also reduce the need for refrigeration in between, thereby cutting costs and maximizing profits. We will also be incorporating an auction system into the app. Is to help farmers achieve the best prices for their goods based on the existing demand. An auction system would help in marketing and attracting institutional buyers not only in the Bicol region but nationwide.
The Bicolanas Agriculture Cooperative is one of the FCAs that is currently engaged with DA's e-Kadiwa program and Muramart.
Ako po si Daisy Granada Hiulin. Ako po ang founding chairperson ng Bicolanas Agriculture Cooperative. Ang negosyo po ng Bicolanas Agriculture Cooperative ay napaka-varied, marami siya. Pero kami ay nakafocus simula't mula pa sa agriculture production at saka yung processing ng mga agricultural products and of course merchandising ng mga agriculture products. And then when the pandemic came, we never really expected na sabi ta nga ni, ang sarong dipisil na sitwasyon na sarong pandemya, we turned it into a big opportunity for Bicolanas na taonan po kami ng opportunity through the grant of 1 million from the Department of Agriculture. And mas natabangan ni po si mga farmer members mi na sa mga produce ninda, nababakal mi. Ini pong opportunity for Mura Mart. Sa panahon na araw kaning may pandemic, people should be limited talaga sa indang movement. So dakulaon na maray na impact ang Mura Mart. So hiling-hiling ni po na garo mabibisi kami, and at the same time, madadagdagan po talaga ang sales ni and masiserve ni.
Soon, we will also be marketing the produce from the legal farmers to other places like Metro Manila, Calabar Zone, and other places nationwide. Our app users are steadily growing daily. The goal is to bring more value to more people in less time. We are living in an age where digitalization is fast becoming the norm. This initiative from the Department of Agriculture Region 5, the Camarines Chamber of Commerce and Industries, and Mura Mart Holdings Incorporated hopes to bring the agricultural sector in the Bicol region at the forefront of the new digital world.
Future of agriculture is global and digital, where farmers have access to local, national, and international markets, where farmers maximize their profits through access to information and technology, where farmers are resilient to changes in markets and technology, where farmers have an abundance of upscaling opportunities because of their access to markets, government support, and technology, and where collaboration with the private sector opens more and more opportunities to solve deep-rooted problems in our society. On behalf of the Department of Agriculture, Regional Field Office, let me take this opportunity to thank the Camarines Sur Chamber of Commerce and Industry for the Mura Mart initiative in support to the agency's efforts to achieve digital agriculture as one of the 12 key strategies to grow agriculture in 2021 and beyond. We fight as one, we heal as one, and we will rise as one. Thank you, God bless, and stay safe everyone.
Siguradong pagkain sa buong bansa, masagang ng ani, mataas na kita, maunlad na buhay ng mga magsasaka at mga mangingisda. Siguradong pagkain sa buong bansa.
We would like to acknowledge the following PCCI Board. Chairman, Director for Membership, Ms. Alegria Limhoco. Director for SME, Mr. Apolinar Aure. Director, Smart Cities, Chairman of 47PB C&E, Mr. Jeffrey Nang. Area Vice President for NCR, Ms. Delia Jimenez. Area Vice President for North Luzon, Ms. Gigi Simbulan. Area Vice President for Visayas, Mr. Frank Carbon. Director for Innovation, Committee Chair for Industry, Mr. Perry Ferrer. Honorary President, Chairman for HRD, Dr. Alberto Fenix Jr. Secretary General, Mr. Ruben Pascual. Chairman, Agriculture and Fishery, Dr. William Co. Chairperson of PUBC, Engineer Nina Manyo. Chair of CSR, Ms. Nora Lacuna. Regional Governor for CAR, Mr. Tom Panis. Regional Governor for Region 2, Mr. Cloyd Velasco. Regional Governor for South Sector, NCR, Ms. Tess Ngan-Tian. Regional Governor for Central Sector, NCR, Mr. Jose Tayawa. Regional Governor for Regions 8, Mr. Wilson Sia Uy. Past Area Vice President for South Luzon, Ms. Teresita Liabres. Past Area Vice President for South Luzon, Mr. Eduardo Nicolas. And we also have other local chambers. PCCI Makati President, Ms. Emily Alvarez. PCCI Muntinlupa President, Ms. LV Sanchez. Capiz CCI President, Mr. Dale Bernas. Cebu CCI President, Felix Tagiam. PCCI Parañaque, Mr. or Ms. Lolit Duria. And we also have the presence of PCCI Mandaluyong. Thank you very much. Mr. Jeffrey Nang is currently the president of Cathay Land Incorporated, developer of South Forbes Gulf City, Hacienda Designer Outlet, and Astoria Hotels and Resorts. He was a BA Economics cum laude graduate of University of the Philippines, Diliman, with master's degree in business economics at University of Asia and the Pacific. Mr. Nang is president of UP School of Economics Alumni Association, Vice President of Federation of Filipino-Chinese Chamber of Commerce and Industry Incorporated, and Board Director of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and Foundation for Economic Freedom.
Allow me to congratulate PCCI South Luzon officers and local chambers headed by AVP Clarin Tobias for a highly successful 30th SOLABC. Indeed, this event has set the bar high for the other area conferences this year. The road leading to the 47th Philippine Business Conference is now set. The 47th PBC will be convened on November 16 to 18, 5 months from now. Last year, despite being jarred by the COVID-19 pandemic, we were able to effectively and successfully transition to a hybrid platform of a combined limited face-to-face and virtual setup. We are hoping to be able to duplicate the success, if not perform, with your support, even better this year. It is a challenge. We are preparing for both a physical and hybrid event at this point. Many are skeptical about a face-to-face event, but we continue to be optimistic that we will have a good percentage of the population vaccinated and some level of herd immunity achieved by November. Even at this time, the DOH and Octa Research have reported a decreasing number of infections. We want a show of force where people should be able to feel confident again about going out and about, revitalizing domestic consumption, which has been a pillar of our economic growth. What makes our PBC this year more exciting is that it will be a lead up to the 2022 national elections, how our leaders and policymakers will position themselves beyond the pandemic and restore the vibrancy of our economy, and will make for a stimulating and lively discussion. This year's theme, Innovation.ph, Economic Recovery for All, will look into how innovation has become a catalyst to rebooting the economy and sustaining and accelerating growth to recover lost grounds and catch up with Ambition 2040's goal for our country to become a middle-income economy in 20 years. Following tradition, we look forward to once again having Bicol's very own, our country's Vice President, Leni Robredo, to grace our opening plenary. We have likewise lined up an array of high-level speakers from government and the private sector. Our first session will feature Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez III, Chair of Cabinet Economic Cluster, who will set the tone of this year's economic conference. Following the address of Secretary Dominguez will be a panel discussion on the infrastructure and enabling policy environment to strengthen digital transformation and innovation. We will be inviting Secretary Carl Chua of NEDA to talk on digitalizing the Philippine economy. Secretary Gregorio Honasan of the Department of Information and Communication Technology on digital inclusion and the National Broadband Program. Secretary Fortunato de la Peña, Department of Science and Technology on transforming the future with the AI and ICT roadmap. Secretary Ramon Lopez, Department of Trade and Industry on SMEs and the e-commerce roadmap. To give us ideas on how companies can use innovation to drive their businesses, we hope to have the innovation and technology pioneers in a TED Talks style. We also hope to hear from our very own business leaders and industry captains on what business models have helped their businesses to adapt to new realities. Earlier, I mentioned about the 2022 national elections. The reason we moved the PBC from October to November is because we want to take advantage of the opportunity to have a dialogue with our presidentiables. By November, the filing of candidacy would have ended and we will already know with finality who are running for the country's highest post. We want to hear their thoughts, their platforms to reboot the economy. We also want them to listen to our sentiments in the hope that some of our long-standing challenges on business and economic competitiveness will be in their priority agenda. We will likewise highlight best practices and outstanding achievements through several awards. Best Idea Development Awards, Excellence in Ecology and Economy Awards, Alfredo Yao Intellectual Property Awards, INJEPSIA Outstanding Young Entrepreneur Awards, ICC Global Excellence Awards, Most Business-Friendly LGU, Most Outstanding Chamber. I enjoin you to nominate candidates who you think are worthy of these awards. We will culminate with a presentation of policy recommendations to President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Aside from the conference proper, we will have a pre-conference activities such as the National Chamber Management Forum on November 16 and a golf tournament at the East Ridge Golf Club. We will also be witnessing the inauguration of the PCCI Innovation Center by Mr. Miguel Yuhico and the unveiling of the infrastructure to connect to the internet through satellite technology, now being set up by our friend, PCCI Director for Innovation and Intellectual Property, Mr. Perry Ferrer. Learn from renowned policymakers and speakers how you and your business can innovate, recover, and thrive beyond the pandemic. See you all at the 47th Philippine Business Conference and Expo this coming November 16 to 18. Thank you very much, everyone.
Reading of resolutions from Region 4 by Ms. Sally C. Lacson.
You are muted po.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are pleased to present to you for adoption the following resolutions gathered from the business chambers of South Luzon. PCCI South Luzon would like to submit these resolutions for and in consideration of the Philippine government to address enterprise competitiveness concerns, as well as the requirements and recommendations for business recovery, resilience, and sustainability. For agriculture, resolution urging the Department of Agriculture to create a digital land map for the agricultural land areas of the country, indicating the best crop to be planted depending on the soil classification. Provide landowners, farmers, free seedlings to encourage farming to be a self-sufficient country for all our agri requirements. Provide landowners, farmers with the proper technology and agricultural assistance for a more fruitful harvest. Provide landowners, farmers with sufficient insurance cover to mitigate the risk of any calamities that might strike the country. Address the issue of African swine fever and fast-track the provision of support services to hog raisers who were severely affected. For environment, we want a resolution urging the government to establish a seed fund of no less than 20 billion pesos for the setting up and operation of solid waste recovery, recycling, and wastewater treatment facilities in all LGU business centers across South Luzon, and in each of the provinces therein, including the provinces in Calabarzon, Mimaropa, and the Bicol region. For education, resolution urging the Department of Education and Commission on Higher Education to address the financial distress of higher education institutions by facilitating the payment of collectibles from CHED and other government agencies. Resolution urging the Commission on Higher Education, Department of Education, and the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, the institutionalization of industry-based training curricula to create a specific workforce development solutions for many occupations and businesses. A resolution urging the Congress to amend Section 7 of Republic Act 10931, the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act, to include a provision allowing private higher education institutions to implement the grants in aid program that provides funding for all Filipino students from the poorest of the poor household. Resolution urging the provinces of Camarines Sur to include and recognize Camarines Sur as a member as special committee governing the affairs of the local early educational system, which currently has no provision requiring representation from the private sector. Resolution urging the Department of Labor and Employment to accredit Camarines Norte Chamber of Commerce and Industry as a private sector partner in the implementation of Dole livelihood in the Bicol region. For investment promotion, a resolution urging the province of Camarines Sur to revisit and update the Camarines Sur Investment and Incentive Code of 2002 to include a comprehensive set of standardized incentives and protection for investors and existing businesses across all industries in the province of Camarines Sur. For health, a resolution urging the Interagency Task Force on Emerging Diseases and Department of Health to strictly enforce a uniform health and documentary requirements for visitors on all towns, cities, provinces for business and tourism. For energy and power, a resolution urging the Energy Regulatory Commission and the Camarines Sur 2 Electric Cooperative Incorporated to suspend the power rate hike currently being implemented to provide relief to businesses and consumers that were heavily affected by the widespread economic downturn caused by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Reading of Resolutions from Region 5 by Ms. Mergie N. Moraleda.
For taxation, resolution urging Congress to pass Senate Bill number 2208 filed by Senator Pilar Juliana Cayetano, which set to amend Republic Act number 11213 or the Tax Amnesty Act extending the availment period to June 14, 2023. A resolution urging local government units to extend the state amnesty program to support the different or waiver of legal property tax for the next 3 years. For tourism, resolution urging the Department of Tourism, DOT, to revert, realign, and utilize a portion of the remaining budget of DOT and its attached agency as financial support, subsidy, or working capital loan to severely affected tourism-related enterprises. Resolved further that the DOT activity participate in the endorsement of tourism-related enterprises to government financing institutions such as the Development Bank of the Philippines, Land Bank, and DTI, Small Business Corporation, offering low-interest loans for affected micro, small, and medium tourism enterprises. For transportation, logistics, and infrastructure, resolution urging the province of Albay to reverse the truck ban implementation, which led to delays in the delivery of goods and services, which result in substantial profit losses for the MSMEs for the Greater Bicol region. A resolution urging the Department of Public Works and Highways, DPWH, to speed up the construction of South Luzon Expressway from Santo Tomas, Batangas to Bicol and Alamino, San Pablo Bypass Road. Another resolution urging the Anti-Red Tape Authority or the ARTA to fast-track the establishment of one-stop shop at the Port of Matnog to facilitate the processing requirements of shipping cargo vessels. Another resolution urging the Philippine Ports Authority or PPA to immediately implement their plan to develop a truck holding area near Matnog Port and an automated ticketing system that will substantially increase the efficiency of port operations and likewise improve the service time per vessel per ramp. Another resolution urging the Department of Transportation, DOTR, the Department of Budget and Management, DBM, and the Congress of the Philippines to include in the national budget for the year 2022 the proposal of the Department of Trade and Industry, DTI, and the PPA named as Sorsogon Road Terminal Expansion Project. Another resolution urging the national government, particularly the Department of Public Works and Highways, Department of Transportation, Philippine Ports Authority, National Economic Development Authority, and the Department of Information, Technology, and Communication to fast-track the planning and development activities of the DOTR's PNR South Rail Project and DPWH Sorsogon's Samar Link bridges in order to shorten the timelines of development of these long-term projects.
Endorsement of 30th SOLABC Conference resolutions by Area Vice President for South Luzon, Ms. Clarine P. Tobias, to the 47th Philippine Business Conference and Expo Chairperson, Mr. Jeffrey T. Nang.
South Luzon will adopt these resolutions this 26th day of June 2021 through a virtual meeting by way of a unanimous and collective motion of the South Luzon Chambers of Commerce and Industry and approved by the SOLABC participants. As the Vice President for South Luzon, I would like to endorse the PCCI South Luzon resolutions to the PCCI Board through Mr. Jeffrey Nang for inclusion to the 47th PBC resolutions that will be submitted to President Duterte during the Philippine Business Conference this afternoon.
Introduction of Keynote Speaker by Ms. Maria Soledad V. Magtuto, President, Camarines Sur Chamber of Commerce and Industry Incorporated.
Secretary Carl Kenrick T. Chua joined NEDA last April 20, 2020. His top 3 priorities upon being appointed as Socio-Economic Planning Secretary amid the COVID-19 crisis include fast-tracking the national ID system, the economic recovery plan, and the Build, Build, Build program. Prior to his appointment, he was Undersecretary for the Strategy, Economics, and Results Group in the Department of Finance. In this capacity, he helped the government implement its 10-point socio-economic agenda by ensuring equitable and sustainable financing through the comprehensive tax reform program. During his DOF tenure, he led the tax reform team to work with Congress to pass the Tax Reform for Acceleration and Inclusion Law, or more popularly known as TRAIN Law, which corrected the long-standing inequity of the tax system by reducing income tax rates while providing funding for the government's Build infrastructure program. Then Undersecretary Chua was also critical in the passage of 3 pieces of legislation increasing excise taxes on sin products, such as tobacco, alcohol, and e-cigarettes to fund the Universal Health Care Program. Prior to joining the government, he was the World Bank Senior Country Economist for the Philippines. In this capacity, he advised the government on strategies and policies to attain more inclusive growth, the type that creates more and better jobs and reduces poverty. In his last 2 years in World Bank, he spent 1.5 years working on Mindanao, where he led the team to conduct in-depth research for the 2016 Mindanao Jobs Report, a comprehensive strategy for the islands group's development. The study's inclusive approach integrated the insights of government, business, labor, civil society, and vulnerable groups who are often left out in the engagement process, such as indigenous people, Moro women, out-of-school youth, combatants, and internally displaced people. He was with the World Bank for 12 years from 2004 to 2016. Secretary Chua completed his MA in Economics in 2003 and PhD in Economics in 2011 at the University of the Philippines School of Economics. Prior to joining the World Bank, he was Assistant Professorial Lecturer of Mathematics and Economics at the Ateneo de Manila University, where he also completed his Bachelor's of Science in Management Engineering in 2000. He was a consultant for several local and development partner-funded projects in the area of economics and fiscal policy. Our keynote speaker is a recipient of the prestigious 10 Outstanding Young Men of the Philippines TOYM in 2018 by the Junior Chamber International Philippines, which I am proud to say that I was once a search committee chairperson. He is married with 1 child, his hobby is astronomy, and his little boy is named after a star, Cade. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome our keynote speaker, NEDA, Secretary Carl Kendrick T. Chua.
Good afternoon again to everyone. The presentation is about recovering from the pandemic. And many of you probably have heard me talk about some of these topics, but it is good actually to remember regularly so that we are all together in this great challenge. So 2 things that I typically begin with in most of my presentation is to remind the audience about 2 economic principles that you may want to memorize, dream about, and apply. Because I think in this pandemic, even more so, these 2 are very important because this is how we will have to use very scarce resources to address very pressing challenges. The first is nothing is free from heaven. The second is everything is a trade-off. In this pandemic, many people would want the government for support, various support, subsidies, tax incentives, allowances, exemptions, and so on. But the reality is this is nothing that we can get from heaven for free. This is something we have to pay for, either with present taxes or future taxes, if we want to borrow for the time being. The second is we have to address all the problems of the society because of the pandemic. There is no perfect solution. Everything is a trade-off. This person wants to sleep, work, and eat, but he also wants to play video games. There's no way to fit everything in 24 hours. There's also no way to fit all the support to everyone because everyone will be asking for a lot. So in this situation, your understanding of the trade-off would be very important. That is why we have to use scarce resources like our time, our budget, clean air or clean water to address the most pressing need. And this is how we will need to operate. Otherwise, we cannot move on together as one nation. So let me now go to the Philippine development story as a reminder that prior to the pandemic, we were off to a great start. Our vision in 2016 was to reduce the poverty rate by 6 million Filipinos and to become upper middle income country like Thailand and China at that time. And by 2040, a generation later, we want to become a high-income country like Japan and South Korea today and eradicate rather extreme poverty, meaning no one is hungry. There will always be some form of subjective poverty. So this is our vision for the Philippines. And we did many things. And one of the most important results is in 2018, we actually achieved the 6 million lifted out of poverty. The Philippine Statistics Authority recalculated poverty, and this is often done to adjust to the better data or methodology. In 2015, 23.5% of the Filipino people were living below the poverty line of 60 pesos per person per day. In 2018, or 3 years later, it went down to 16.7% of the population living below around 70 pesos per person per day. In other words, we already lifted around 6 million Filipinos out of poverty. This is achieved 4 years ahead of our schedule. And despite COVID-19 and the pandemic and our quarantine, there is strong indication that we can actually still achieve the 14% or lower by 2022. And the main reason why we were able to achieve this is because this government built on the progress of previous government in ensuring macroeconomic stability. Plus, this government, the Duterte administration, promised to deliver the 10-point socio-economic agenda, wherein number 1 is maintaining our strong macroeconomic policy. Number 2 is to deliver a tax reform, and we have delivered 5 packages. Number 3 is the passage of the Ease of Doing Business law, and we have to implement that better. Number 4, we have spent more than 1 trillion peso in the last couple of years on infrastructure prior to COVID, and we will do so more. Number 5 is rural development, and we started with the rice tarification. We will continue to do work on land management, which is very important to improve the security of property rights. We passed universal healthcare. We also passed a series of law on the space center, on the innovation, on balik scientists, and so on. That is number 8. We passed the national ID and the CCT law. That is number 9. And we are working hard to deliver the gains of the reproductive health law. So this is the achievement so far, and the green ones are largely achieved, but we will have to implement them better continuously. And the yellow ones are what we are trying to move and achieve by the end of the term. And given this, this explains why prior to COVID-19, the economy was in a very strong footing. Now, what happened since last year was the arrival of the COVID-19 virus, which became a pandemic and which led to a series of severe to moderate levels of quarantine. The reality today is the COVID-19 virus is not going to go away easily. And this chart shows you the daily confirmed cases. From a peak in August last year, it actually went down, allowing us to further reopen the economy. And even during Christmas Day, we did not see a spike. But with the entrant of new variants and other reasons, we saw a spike, but we were able to control that in the last 2.5 months. So our cases have actually moderated, but is still considered relatively high. However, in the National Capital Region, the story is much better. The sacrifices that we have undergone in the last 3 months have resulted in a significant decline in cases. Notice that the latest case number, less than 1,000, is roughly the same as in early October when we decided to further reopen the economy. So we are actually back to a situation wherein, similar to October, we decided to open the economy. And if all of us will work together and follow the health protocols, I think it is very likely that we see the cases going down even further. So this is very good progress in the National Capital Region. However, the cases are rising in the other regions, and we have to be more vigilant about it. Now, because of this situation, we had a difficult decision, and that was to impose community quarantines. We have been imposing the community quarantines since the middle of March last year, and the colors basically show you the severity of the quarantine from the least MGCQ, which is yellow, to the red, which is ECQ. And notice that we have not gone to a situation wherein we reverted to green or no community quarantine. And a lot of the orange, red, and pink are in the three most important regions based on economic contribution. So NCR, regions 3 and 4. And they are still largely in the orange or GCQ. And the rest of the country largely are in MGCQ or yellow. However, there are regions and provinces which are deteriorating, so we have to watch them closely. The result of a long imposition of quarantine is the impact on the economy has been more severe and never seen in our recent history. So from a contraction of minus 17% last year around this time, we are seeing the latest at minus 4.2. And there is a very strong indication that we will experience positive growth in the second quarter. And this is an aberration because historically, we have been performing quite well. The past 4 years of this administration from 2016 have seen significantly much better economic growth relative to our earlier history. And we will continue to monitor this, manage the risk so that we will minimize the impact on the economy. Now, the impact last year was a staggering 1 trillion peso loss in household income, or 2.8 billion pesos per day. The average person loses 23,000 per year, but there are sectors, employees that have been hit much harder, especially those in category 4 or the non-essential, including amusement, tourism, and entertainment. So this year, we are learning from our experience last year to not make the same mistake of locking down a big part of the economy when in fact we can control the virus where it is most high risk. So if you compare the experience last year and this year in terms of mobility, despite imposing ECQ or MECQ, the visit to the public transport is not down by 80% like last year, but is down only 40%. And this is largely due to the one seat apart rule. That is why we are supporting active transport and expanding routes and frequency of our public utility, using those that provide additional income for the PUVs when they operate their vehicles, or service contracting, in other words. In terms of people actually going to the office, it is much better. Last year, when we imposed ECQ, 80 to 60% down was the figure. Today, we are just 25% down. So we allow more people to actually work and go back to the office. So these are data from Google Mobility. These are also indications why second quarter, despite of ECQ, will be much better. However, if we don't still manage the risk further, if we still keep the children at home and families do not really go out and children cannot go back to school, then there is a little that we can do. That is why we have to continuously open gradually when it is safe to do so. In terms of the labor market, notice that the employment data respond very well to the level of quarantine. The red line that you see is the NCR unemployment. Notice that around last year, third and fourth quarter, the red was higher than the AO NCR, or areas outside NCR. Because NCR was in GCQ, every other region or province mostly were in MGCQ. So you notice that unemployment in other provinces is much better. But when we further reopened the economy, NCR unemployment went down to 8.8%. But of course, when we reverted back to ECQ, it went up. So this is the situation. In other words, the productive assets of the country, the infrastructure, the human capital, the skills are there, and they will find work if we allow them to do so. But if we close down a big part of the economy, then they will not be able to work. So this is the reality. Now, the level of job creation is also very much determined by the level of quarantine. Between January and April 2020, we lost 8.7 million jobs. But we gradually recovered most of them over the last few quarters. And when we started measuring the labor force monthly, we saw some improvements gradually. As of today, despite the imposition of the ECQ and MECQ in the last quarter, in the last few months, we still saw a net job creation of 700,000. So this is this is a good sign, but of course we are also concerned about the quality of jobs. Many people have work, but they don't get the full pay, or they are working part-time because of capacity constraints or restrictions. In terms of hunger, we don't measure hunger, but SWS data show very clearly that areas where there are higher quarantine levels, you see higher levels of hunger. So the red is NCR. Areas outside NCR actually had lower hunger incidents. So as of the latest data that we are aware of, NCR, 1 in 4 are hungry. That is 3.2 million people hungry due to the level of quarantine. And this is something that we are very concerned about. That is why we continuously advocate for the safe reopening of the economy. So in the earlier slides, I conveyed or shared with all of you that there's no perfect solution. Everything is a trade-off, and we apply this consistently in all decisions we make in the IATF. This slide does not suggest that you read them. It shows you the thinking that we go through every time we make a decision on the quarantine. And NEDA tries to present the balance so that we can balance the benefit from reduction of COVID cases against the cost of more people without jobs going hungry, or more of the economy being closed because of levels of quarantine. So this is an idea of what we are doing every time we review the level of quarantine. So not only do we provide concern for COVID cases, we also are concerned about non-COVID cases and the number of people who go to bed hungry. Now, let me quickly discuss the recovery program. So the situation before COVID-19 is that we have a very strong foundation with strong economic growth, likely to become upper middle income in 2020. Now we have to contend with 2022. Inflation was low and stable. The rice tarification law, or RTL, helped a lot. The fiscal position was also very strong, one of the strongest in our history, largely enabled by the tax reform. Our Build program was one of the highest spending in terms of infrastructure. We achieved one of the highest ever credit rating and the lowest ever unemployment, underemployment, and poverty rate, as I mentioned earlier. So this is our starting point. The productive assets of the economy are not destroyed, unlike in a war. They are all there. What prevents them from functioning is our artificial policy to keep the economy closed, or part of them closed. That is why we have to work and move forward to open as much sectors as we can in the safest possible manner. So our estimated growth this year and next year will be strong positive, 6 to 7% this year and 7 to 9% next year. This is going to be driven by 3 enablers or pillars. The first is we have to open the economy, MGCQ or better, at the appropriate time. I think in NCR, we have an opening, given the number of cases that we have been seeing. But we will still have to be very careful because of the new variants. But this also means that we not only open the supply side, we have to open the demand side, allowing children, families to go out with safeguards. The second is we have a recovery package. Most of them are already enacted. We have to implement them with haste. And the third is the timely vaccination program, which many of you can participate because the decision really is yours. So let me go through them quickly. So last year, we thought that like SARS-1, COVID would stay for 6 months. The reality today is it will stay probably for many years. But we have a lot of new learnings. We have to live with the virus. We have to manage the risk. And we have vaccines to help us. And we have to work together to prevent cases from increasing. So the first thing we need to do is to implement the PDITR strategy. 95% of the cases can be prevented if everyone wear the mask, wash hands, stay home, social distance when going out. And we are working hard now to improve our contact tracing using automated or digital-enabled messaging system. And we have built more and more quarantine and isolation facilities in preparation for any possible future spike, and also improving our hospital care. And we need to do the same also in the provinces. These are our list of recovery programs. The total is more than 2 trillion pesos of fiscal, both spending and tax breaks or incentives or lowering of taxes, as well as financial and monetary support. And this has been there mostly since last year, and implementing them will help the economy get it back to its feet. However, nothing will move if there is no confidence. And that is why we have to work hard on our vaccination program. In the next 6 weeks, we have 30 million doses coming in. This is our progress so far. 8.4 million vaccine have been delivered to the people. We have started with category A4 or the workers, and notice that we are moving actually quite fast on category A4. And hopefully we can vaccinate as many as we can, the workers, in the next few months. If workers are more vaccinated, then they bring home much less risk to their family members. And I personally can see school opening because those that we want to protect, the senior citizens, the people with comorbidities, and the workers who commute, go to the office, are much more protected. So this is, I think, very important. And the more sites we open, and I have been a strong advocate of not only LGU, but business or organization-based vaccination centers, then we can meet the numbers quicker. Let me now talk about the national ID. This is one of the most game-changing reforms. It has been proposed more than 20 years ago, and I'm glad that around this time, we have actually enacted it into law. And I want to invite everyone to register, visit our online Step 1 registration to input your demographics and schedule your biometrics. So the situation because of COVID-19 led us to adopt a three-step registration process. So for the low-income families, we visited them house to house. For high or middle-income families, you have access to your gadgets. You can do the demographic step 1 online, similar to putting your information when you're applying for a passport. Then you visit the registration centers to capture biometrics, and we are having more and more of these, not only in the LGUs, but also in the malls and in institutions that we visit. We started the house-to-house last October. We started the online system last April 30, and we started the step 2 last January 2021. And we have started already step 3, or the issuance of the actual ID to the people. Our progress so far is 36 million, already finished step 1 since October of last year. Our target is to get to 70 million, so we are largely, I think, on track. For the remaining half, we invite everyone to visit our registration website to input your demographics. So this is available in the 81 provinces and in NCR. Now for step 2, those who have provided biometrics, we are present in half of the provinces. We have finished 12.3 million as of a week ago. We also have 3.7 million Filipinos open a bank account because every time you go to the registration center, they can open a bank account. And our objective here is to have 100% financial inclusion at the family level by the end of the year. So next year, when we need to provide subsidies, it will all be through bank accounts. So all 26 million families, we hope to provide bank accounts. And there are basically three important priority use cases for this national ID. The first, as I mentioned, is the financial inclusion. We will also use this to provide support to the general vaccination program, and by next year, to deliver subsidies or ayuda or any other support through the national ID system. So this is the objective of the national ID system. Let me end with a set of ideas on how you can help. I started the discussion today with the two economic principles. I generally feel that the public can help in three more ways, and doing them would spell a great difference in the way things can go. The third one is know the facts, contribute solutions. Don't stop on what to do, but also focus on the how to do it, and also to share the good news. Let me just quickly go through them. In this world where everything or everyone has a say and your Viber or social media can tell you everything, unfortunately, not all are facts. It would help if all of you verify your facts before you share or forward to anyone. This will help us understand the situation better. For instance, the impact of vaccines or the extent of problems in governance or so on. The second is to contribute solutions. I'm sure all of you have complaints, but I think better than that is to contribute solutions. Don't just tell or share what to do, but we need to know how to do it. To give an example, when the pandemic started, all the brilliant academics tell me that we should deliver wage subsidies, but no one told me how to do it. When most have no bank accounts, when there are no IDs and systems or registries. That is why back then when we designed the small business wage subsidy, we had to look at all possible ways to deliver this. One reason why we are making the national ID a top priority is because we want that to help us deliver and address the how-to question. So this is very important for the business sector to also support our programs. And finally, you eat in a restaurant, you're served bad food. I'm sure you'll complain 90% of the time. If you're served good food, you probably will not compliment the restaurant or the chef. It's important also to understand our situation right now so that we don't only complain, share bad news, but also look at what is also happening, balance that out to provide the same comfort of hope that many people are also doing. So with that, I hope this gives you a good idea of where we were prior to COVID, what happened, and what we need to do to get our economy and society back to our ambition natin 2040. Thank you very much.
We would like to express our gratitude to all our resource speakers and invited guests. Indeed, your presence and participation has helped shed light on how an innovative economy can lead to a better normal for all.
May we request all our participants, attendees, let us listen once again to the 4th PBC&E Chair, Mr. Jeffrey P. Nam.
AVP Clarine, ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and privilege to accept the South Luzon Conference resolutions for careful deliberation by the Board of BCCI, together with the other incoming regional resolutions, before we submit the resolutions to President Duterte on November 18. Thank you and good work, everyone.
Adjournment by Ms. Clarine P. Tobias, Area Vice President, PCCI.
The pandemic caused by COVID-19 has led us spiraling into an unknown path. The movement was sudden, the damage was debilitating. Yes, there is hope in the vaccines, but the life that we used to have is eternally lost. It is nearly 2 years since the outbreak. The fight is far from over. The pandemic has exposed our weaknesses and vulnerabilities, but it has also led us to a paradigm shift. The pandemic has taught us to accept the situation as a challenge rather than a tragedy. Much as it has upset the economy, it has also presented new opportunities and possibilities that enables us to think outside the box. Gone is the thought of economic recovery, in with resilience and ingenuity. As we strive to create a better normal for all, this conference has shown us that there are untapped resources and wisdom because we have been wired to put profit over the pursuit of development. We are more attuned towards economic gains rather than prosperity for all. This is the kind of thinking that we aim to put to rest. Prosperity for all is not measured in GDP. It is more of championing collaborations, partnerships, ingenuity, and innovation to achieve economic growth rather than economies of scale. Prosperity for all is inclusive. It does not discriminate marginalized economies, but instead allows them to access to vital services and support so they may strive and thrive. Prosperity is a state of mind where individuals and institutions are in symbiotic harmony, dismantling the barriers that prevent wealth to trickle down to those in the bottom of the economic food chain. One thing is certain, we cannot revert back to our pre-pandemic reality, but we can utilize pre-pandemic infrastructure policies, legislations, and best practices as we steer clear of our old habits and carve our new normal, thus our new reality. It is just a matter of opening our eyes and minds to the possibilities and embracing the opportunities as they come. I am positive that our speakers from the government, the business sector, agriculture sector, the environment sector, and economists, that the PCCI have shared views and new knowledge so that we may be better enlightened, illuminated, and educated as we tread the new normal. I hope the two-day conference has taught us valuable lessons that we can share with our constituents. With this thought, I formally declare this conference officially closed.
Thank you to our generous sponsors. Gold sponsor, Moraleda Farms, owned by Regional Governor for Region 5, Ms. Mergie N. Moraleda. Bronze sponsors, Area Vice President Clarine P. Tobias, PCCI Antipolo, PCCI Bacoor, PCCI Camarines Norte, PCCI Lipa, Metro Naga Chamber of Commerce and Industry, PCCI Palawan, PCCI Puerto Princesa. Donors, Albay Chamber of Commerce and Industry, PCCI El Nido, PCCI Marinduque, PCCI Quezon, PCCI San Pablo, PCCI Taytay. We would like to thank our valued partners for the year 2021. Province of Camarines Sur, Department of Agriculture Regional Field Office 5, Department of Trade and Industry, Angena Trading, GCI Construction and Development Corporation, Julia Outdoor Advertising, Jurassic Construction and Supplies, Pixeled Solution, Medlane Enterprises, Ngo & Sons Trading and Industries Incorporated, SVM Marketing Solutions OPC, Tugawi Cove Resort, and Samgyup Masarap.
May we request everyone, all our participants, attendees, and SOLABC Organizing Committee to please open your cameras for our photo opportunity. While photos are being taken, smile everyone for 5 seconds per group, please, for the photo opportunity. And at the moment, we are delighted to have several groups joining us today, so please stay on cam with us. 5 seconds. Smile. Thank you very much. Next group, please. On cam, please, everyone. And smile. Thank you very much. We have the next group. Kindly open your camera if you may. Thank you so much. And we have the next group. Thank you, everyone.
We would like to thank our valued partners for the year 2020.
Tuloy-tuloy na ang kasiyahan at papremyo. More than 300,000 pesos worth of raffle prizes ang ipamimigay dito sa ating SOLABC's Wheel of Names. Let us again all welcome our cuties, Ali and Angie. Let us again welcome our Game Master, CSCCI's past President, Mr. Hoover S. Picard!
Okay! Good afternoon po sa inyong lahat! For those who are still with us in the Zoom webinar, okay lang naman pong umalis muna kayo para kukunti na lang ang kalaban namin sa pananalo. But I think from kanina nasa 300 tayo naka-Zoom, naka-online, umalo na ata sa 500. Yung 200 humabo lang. Okay? So for now, for your information before we proceed, okay? Let me clear out our rules here with regards to our raffles, okay? For the minor prizes, we've decided it's okay if you're not around but you're registered. You will have the opportunity to have your raffle prize that you won. But for the last 5 grand raffle prizes, the major prizes, presence is a must, okay? So for those who are online, either you give us a raise your hand or your chat, or magsisigaw kayo dyan, or you can call. For Globe users, Please take note of this. For Globe users, 0977-213-8220. And for Smart, 0919-073-9422. Or send a message through our Zoom webinar chat box. We will only give 15 seconds to contact numbers also posted on your screens. Please be ready, 15 seconds. These are just for the last 5 major prizes. For the minor prizes, it's okay. If you're not around, pagkwekwentuhan na lang namin kayo. Okay, so let me start off. Ano ba yung first? Okay, for the first set of raffle prizes, it will be definitely 2 winners, 2 units of ITEL mobile phone. I-clarify ko lang ha, dalawa po mananalo dyan. Okay, tigisa kayo. Sponsored by Ano Farm. So, do we have our wheel of names again already? Oh, Q to BTR, sabi ni ating direct Ninoy. Okay, please watch the screen first.
We would like to thank the following game segment sponsors. Ana Farms for the 5 units of iTel cell phone. Sinan and Go for the 5 sacks of rice. Valerosa Farm Adventure Resort for the 4 units of stand fan. Ngo & Sons Trading and Industries Incorporated for the 5,000 pesos in cash. New TH Trading for the 5,000 pesos in cash. Another 5,000 pesos in cash from Lendes Poultry Farm. Anjena Trading for the 2 units of mountain bike. Bicol Best Trade Center for the 5 units of Meniva DZ Air Circulator. Special thanks to our Grand Raffle Prizes sponsors. Pixeled Solution for the 32-inch Aptus LED HD TV. Gold Star Agrivet Corporation for the 2 units of 2TC32BB1M Sharp TV. Hypertech Computers for the 1 set of Dahua XVR with 4 CCTV cameras. Tugawi Cove Resort for the gift certificate of 3 days and 2 nights stay in Tugawi Cove Resort. Jurassic Construction and Supplies for the 50-inch TCL LED TV.
Let's start off with our wheel of names for 2 iTel mobile phones. Where's our wheel of names? There. Okay. Dito, clarify ko lang po, these are minor prizes. So if you're not around, it's okay lang po. You can still claim your prize. So these are all the registered participants in our 30th SOLABC. Please, win a win. Okay, PCCI Pados, past President Rolin Shong. Another one. Okay, Boss Ricky Magtoto from Camarines Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Pakitawagan siya agad kasi baka ma-forfeit after 15 seconds. Kailangan magparamdam. Okay, ito po, baka ano. Now, we have the 2 sacks of rice. Tigisa lang po, sponsored by Sinan and Go, Ma'am Regina Molchor. Simon D! From Camarines Chamber of Commerce. Disclaimer lang po ha, it doesn't pa, it's very nagkakataon lang po. Okay? Next. Isa pa. One more for Sinan and Go. Maya Monteagudo from Kamsur Chamber. Wait. Okay, ito po. Another, ito. This one, another minor prize, ProMate Dual Stereo Wireless Speakers, together with Edifier M1250 wireless speakers, My Passport 2GB external hard drive. Tigigisa po mananalo dito. This one is coming from R&M Agro Industrial Supply and General Merchandise, owned by no other than our Regional Governor for Region 5, Merge Moraleda. Thank you very much, Ma'am Merge. Okay, 3 winners. Sunod-sunod lang yan, 3 winners. Okay, Limwell C. Maha from Camarines Sur Chamber again. Okay, another one. This one, Cristel Cabel Patawaran. Ibabalik ko sa nanay mo ang iyong binigay. At anak to ni RG Merge Moraleda. Cristel. Okay, next. Last one, last one. Sabihin nyo sa akin pagkaano na, major prize. Real David Palawan, Kamsur. Oh, ika-clarify ko lang po bakit lagi maraming nananalo sa Kamsur. It's more of, nasa 80 lang naman ata po ngayon na naka-online sa amin. So, okay, next. Another one, 2 units Airfinity stand fan sponsored by no other than our Board of Trustee, Valerosa Farm Adventure Resort from Sir Jerry Ilarde. 2, tigisa pali, go! At Peoy, si Ma'am Pat Felismenyo, the Provincial Director of GOST. Okay, Ma'am Pat, alam ko malapit ka lang dito, pwedeng puntahan mo na lang dito. You're just 100 meters away. Okay? Isa pa yon, di ba? Dalawa yan eh. Okay? Another one from Raimundo Domingo de Leon, PCCI San Pablo. You've just won an air circulator. Aba, tama, air fan pala. Electric fan. Okay, this one. Ito, malinis na usapan. 5,000 pesos in cash. It will be delivered to you, Mamiso. Okay? So, bantayan nyo na lang po. Sponsored by Lanza's Poultry Farm, Attorney Jojo Gaite. Okay. 5,000 pesos po. Edit Suelto, kung nasaan ka man, PCCI main office. You've just won 5,000 pesos. Sabihin mo lang kung paano namin ipapadala. Okay? Pwede naman sa Telegram. Okay, next. This one. 2 units, Miniba DC air circulator. Dalawa, coming from Bicol Best Rate Center of Everett Olivan. Okay? Two winners. Oh dear! For purposes of ato po, for your information, mapapasin nyo po, Mavi F. Picar. Pamilyar ang pilidong yan. Uber Picar, Mavi F. Picar. Baka ito yung anak ko. So, iwe-wave po ng anak ko yan. Pero at least alam kong ano yung pinanalunan ng anak ko? Ha? Ay, pasensya na po, nakakuha na ako ng isang ganyan pala. Kanya pala, hindi ko na kailangan yan. So, i-wave ko yan. I-wave ng anak ko on behalf of my daughter. So, isa pa mananalo. Oh, Pons Abdala, PCCI Quezon. Okay ha? Sir Pons, yung pinanalunan pong anak ko, pwede naman yung meron lang tax ng konti. Okay lang naman. Okay? So ito na, ito malinis na to ha, for all clear. Please, to all those who are still online, okay? I'd like to make mention again ha, I'd like to inform you ha, ito ang ating ruling ha. Your presence is very much needed here. Magparamdam kayo, okay? Because these are 5 major prizes already. Ulitin ko, is if you're online, just use your chat box, okay? Or if you don't have and you want to call, use call 0977-213-8220 or for smart 0919-073-9422 or send a message through our chat box. Okay? Okay, so gamitin din nyo po ang Bayantel. Kung meron pa, wala na pala. Okay, ito na, Grand Raffle! Units, Sharp! 2TC3 2BB1M354621. Okay, LED TV, sponsored by Gold Star Agribet Corporation. Dalawa po yan. So dalawang mananalo ha. Very clear po ha, walang samaan ng loob to. Pag nanalo po kayo at hindi kayo online or hindi kayo tumawag for the next 15 seconds, okay po, ikwekwento na lang po sa inyo kung anong pakiramdam ng nakananalo. Okay? But definitely, magkwekwento kami. So, are you ready? Okay. Okay ha, clear po ha. We will wait for 15 seconds for you to be acknowledged. Pag hindi po kayo nagparamdam, we will continue until someone will acknowledge that they are the winner. Okay, go! Okay, okay, BP Tita! BP Tita, are you there? Pakitingin pakita. Countdown, countdown! 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Meron? Online? Online? Oh, gusto kong makita ang special power of attorney niya na nagpapatunay na siya yan. Okay, Ma'am Tita, nag-acknowledge? VP Tita, Liabres? Ano na? Yes, yes, okay. VP Tita, you've just won a Sharp TV, okay? 110, kailangan po ng transformer nito. Hindi ko lang nasabi sa inyo. Okay? Another one! One more winner! One more winner! 32-inch TV by Sharp. Wow! PC! Wow! O, tingnan natin. PCCI Josette Cortez, are you there? President Josette Cortez. 15. 14. Go! Yes! Woo! Press Josette, congratulations! Next year po, makakarating sa inyo yung TV. Okay? Bahala na po kung paano natin mapapalad. That is Press Josette Cortez. Thank you very much, Press Josette! She's also very helpful sa atin, sa SOLABC. Very cooperative. Okay, ito na po. So, we have two winners na, no? Ang galing, swerte natin dahil at least available ang mga nananalo. This one po, 1 unit mountain bike. Okay, sponsored by Angena Trading, no other than by a treasurer, board of trustee, and Simon D, na kung saan po lahat ng item na makailangan nyo, mabibili nyo sa kanya. Okay? Ang Angena po, makikita nyo po sa buong Pilipinas. Ayun po. Okay? So now, 1 unit mountain bike. So, spin a win! Oh! Ay! Tingnan natin yan. Tingnan natin kung online. Online, pa-check kung online. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Oh, wala daw. Wala na daw talaga. Actually, sa totoo lang po, itong si Romeo Tan, miyembro po namin, nagbebenta naman siya ng mountain bike, kaya hindi niya kailangan yan. Okay? Okay. So, next, another winner. Let's more spinning. Okay. Yes, Abi Eunice Subil, PCC Antipolo, are you there? 15, 14. Oy, bagay na bagay ito. Di ba ang ganda mag-mountain bike sa may Antipolo? Wala. Oh. Hindi, ayaw naman kasi daw niya. Wala siyang hilig sa biking. Kaya actually, naandyan lang yan eh. Naandyan lang yan dama ko. Pero ayaw niyo yung papapanalunan. Okay, go! More! Go! Last 3 na lang to, last 3. Elizabeth Enverga, PCCI, I would suppose dapat nandiyan pa. Ay, naku! Parang siya, di ba walang kuryente ata sa kanila ngayon? Baka magpahabol pa, pabigyan ng kuryente. Kasi alam ko walang kuryente. Yes! Nandiyan pala si Wow! Gabi! Congratulations, President Elizabeth R. Enverga. Ang alam ko walang kuryente pero bumili siya ng 50 kVA na generator para lang manalo ng mountain bike. Okay, thank you very much. Woo! Thank you! Thank you! Okay, last 3 ata to. 1 Persona multimedia sound system speakers coming from R&M Agro-Industrial Supply and General Merchandise, owned by no other than Regional Governor for Region 5, R. Merch Moraleda. Okay, 1 winner. Father J! Wow! Wow, look! Ito po, J.L. Jacinto is a priest. Magtataka ba, ay talaga naman mga pari talaga, negosyante na. No? He is a member of the Communist Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Actually, as we speak, nasa si Father J, ayun po nakaluhod, nagdarasal na sana manalo siya. And pinagbigyan na kanyang dasal. Nandun lang po si Father J sa likod. Okay, Father J, tama-tama Father J, magagamit mo to sa simbahan. Kasi nung nagsimba ko sa iyo one time, wala akong marinig sa sinasabi mo. Okay? Next time. Okay. Last. Okay, eto na. Woo! Last two. Okay. Marami pa bang naka-online? Pwede naman tomorrow na lang tayo. Okay lang. Okay, this one. TCL 50-inch LED TV is sponsored by Jurassic Construction and Supplies. Ito po. Pakiano nga kasi gusto ko ipakita talaga ng husay. Pakitulong naman, please. Pakitulong. Pasensya na po. Last two na lang naman to. Go. Uy, patulong. Para kita. Okay, eto po. TCL 50 LED TV from immediate past President, Engineer Alex Gaite. Okay, ito po ha. Presence needed. Teka, parang walang laman ah. Meron. Okay, go! Spin a win! Whoa! Up! Jump in! Pakita mo! Hindi po yan sinasadya, talagang ano. Joven! Okay, meron pa po tayo. Last, sponsored by Tugawi Cove Resort. 1 gift certificate, 3 days, 2 nights vacation stay for, 1 person? 2 persons pala. Pero kung mag-asawa po kayo, ang clarification, pag mag-asawa, kailangan po ng marriage certificate. Okay? At kung mag-boyfriend, girlfriend, dapat may consent ng mga magulang. Okay, yun po ang ating ano. Pero definitely, from Ma'am Col Magtoto, thank you very much. Tugawi Cove Resort, 3 days, 2 nights, vacation stay at Tugawi Cove Resort. Ito po! Ito, nasa akin na po, oh. Bakit Hoover Picker na nakalagay? Huwag naman yung sa akin, para sa akin. Okay, ito na ba? Are you ready? Okay, so, this one. Hey. Ricardo Sarmiento, are you there? Pacheck. 15, 14, 13. Wala. Okay. Sir Ricardo, kung nasan mo po kayo, kwentuhan na lang namin po kayo pagka po dumating yung nanalo. Kung anong pakiramdam magstay sa Tugawi Cove Resort. Okay? Okay, go! Spin a win! Okay! Online dapat. Online. Wala. Kasi pasensya na po, naka-quarantine sila ngayon. Gustuhin man nila. Okay lang naman. Sawa na daw sila. Actually, alam nyo ba ito, si Angelo? Ang kwento nito? Hindi naman siya mananalo kasi magbe-breakfast lang sila. Pupunta pa sila sa Tugawi. Breakfast lang yun, ha? Okay, go! One more! Okay, Richard Albert I. Osmond, Laguna Chamber. Nandyan ba? Laguna Chamber. 15, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Nandyan? Nasaan? May call. Okay, sige nga. Hello? Sir, sino po sila?
Angelito Lorenzo Lurin po.
Ano?
Angelito Lorenzo Lurin po.
Ay! Pasensya na. Mali. Mamaya ka na tumawag, busy. Mamaya. Okay. Nasa na si ano? Nasa na si Laguna? Wala si Laguna. One more. Ang saya-saya. Go, one more. Nandyan. Oh, ano? Nandyan si Richard Albert. Where's Richard Albert? Hindi, okay lang. Richard Albert, si Richard, nasaan yung si... Wala? Ano ba? Ano? Nandyan pa siya, no? Nasaan siya? Sir, nandyan ba kayo? Okay kayo? Sir? Richard Osmond, sir, are you there? Okay na, okay. So, okay na. Sir, are you there? Yes daw. Yes, okay. Thank you very much. Yes, yo. Sir, you've just won 1 gift certificate, 3 days, 2 nights accommodation, Hilltop Cabana for 2 persons, inclusive of breakfast. Congratulations! Hindi pa po tayo tapos because I will also be announcing the biggest delegation attending participants. According sa ating poll, okay, since yesterday, okay, I would like to acknowledge kung sino po ang biggest delegation according po to sa PCCI, National, and dito po sa ating Secretariat si SCCI. So given naman po na ang Camarines Sur Chamber ang pinakamaraming delegation. But next to us, we'd like to acknowledge, ito po, they will be getting 10,000 pesos courtesy of our Area Vice President, Clarine P. Tobias. Okay, VP Clarine, pupuntahan ka na lang daw agad, i-prepare mo na yung 10,000. Miski walang bangko, okay lang daw Sabado. Okay, now I'd like to acknowledge the Metro Naga Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Thank you very much. Kayo po ang biggest delegation aside from Kamsur Chamber. Okay, so yung 10,000 po, paparatingin na lang po sa inyo ni VP Clarine by siguro Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Pero hindi po sinasabi ko noong date. Basta any day. Okay, so once again, let me take this opportunity. Okay. First and foremost, on behalf of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the organizer of this 30th Southern Luzon Area Business Conference. To you, PCCI, thank you very much for giving us an opportunity and a privilege and honor to host the 30th Southern Luzon Area Business Conference. To VP Clarine, to RG Merge and RG Sally, and to all the presidents of the local chamber of the Southern Luzon. On behalf of our President, Sol Magtuto, and the strong membership of the Camarines Sur Chamber of Commerce and Industry, special mention ko lang uli yung CSCCI Vertex, okay? And then I would like to also thank all of you for joining us for this 2-day event. At the end of the day, sabi nga po ng lahat, kung talagang gusto, maraming paraan. Kung talagang ayaw, maraming dahilan. But I still believe in the chamber movement, okay? So on to our next area business conference, and we see each other when we'll be able to, have the opportunity. But then keep safe, be healthy, and after this, before anything else, I'd like to congratulate pala the Department of Agriculture Region 5 for bagging the one of the top performers of under the Department of Agriculture. Congratulations. Once again, from all of us to all of you, thank you very much for joining us. And right now, we're signing off in a bit, but just see if you want to leave, okay lang. Pero kung gusto nyo pa, hanggang mamaya pa po kaming hapon dito. So, to all the members, the strong membership, can you show yourself here? Come on, go here. Where, nasan tayo? So, thank you very much po sa inyong lahat. Thank you, VP Clary. Thank you, PCCI. Thank you sa Secretariat. Thank you sa Secretariat of PCCI, led by SG Ruben Pascual and ASG Edwin Glendro, to Ma'am Grace, to Ma'am Angie, to Miss Ali Rebosa. Ali, pwede ka na ulit magsimula sa Lunes. Oy, Sir Jeffrey Nang, you're here pa pala. Sir Jeffrey, pasensya na, garto kami kakulit. Okay, pasensya na. Happy lang, happy. Okay, wala, garto lang po kami. So, sir, thank you very much again for giving us the opportunity. Wag po kayo madadala. Si VP, ano pala nandito? Si Ma'am Simbulan, Ma'am Angie Simbulan, Ma'am, nandiyan pala kayo. Yes. Ma'am, pasensya na. Okay, so once again, Camarines Sur Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Sir Randy Aman, Metro Naga, kayo ang biggest delegation. Thank you. Si Ma'am Rose Quintoray, nandito. Si si Ma'am Yunina, Engineer Namanyo, our major sponsor, valued partner, Sambyup Sarap. So, Engineer Ninya, thank you. Engineer Ninya, magkikita-kita pa tayo ninja. Marami pa daw ipapadalang Samyup masarap dito sa Naga. Okay? And then, marami kong pasasalamatan. Pero, yun, si Ma'am Ninyan. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon sa inyong lahat.
Okay, congratulate you. Okay, so muli po, nagpapasalamat po kami sa inyong lahat. Huwag po kayo madadala. And now here is the 30th SOLABC now signing off. Thank you!